That's the biggest thing. I think you just tapped on something so huge here, is that people who are in other areas of the world, there are so many people who are compassionate to this and who are researching that are from everywhere, and to them we are so thankful. But to the non-believers and the skeptics, I've had people tell me that there is no oil, that it does not even need Corexit. I mean, you see all sorts of strange things out there. I experienced the Corexit firsthand. I have good friends of mine who experienced it firsthand. I was in that air. I had a mask on. I could still feel it in my lungs. I mean, I'm not happy about that. I've been to a doctor twice now. It's dangerous and horrible what's happening out there, and the disinformation is even worse. But this is something that, wait for that one hurricane. It's not if, it's when. I mean, I'm sure Keith will tell everyone listening that, he's lived in Florida his whole life, and he's lived on the coast. He knows these hurricanes come. It's not if they're coming.
Yeah. Definitely. And this year is predicting a huge hurricane season.
Yeah, and we can talk about that.
Which is very alarming.
If you go and you do any homework onto Gulf temperatures and how temperatures of water actually affect the hurricanes, you start to come upon some extremely startling facts there. We've heard reports from extremely reliable sources, and this is some stuff you can find online about the fact that the ocean temperature is anywhere between, we're hearing 6 and 10 degrees hotter than it should be, than it normally is. And a lot of people are saying it's from the oil. Methane is known to raise atmospheric temperatures, especially in mass quantities. Something is going on. And when you have a hurricane go over warmer waters, I think Katrina was only 2 degrees over what a normal hurricane season is. You have Katrina on a whole another level, because this is a hurricane that will actually keep moving, and not lose a whole lot of strength. And that's terrifying. Pick up oil, Corexit, and everything else and drop it down. I mean, how far, how much, how many people? And to echo what Kendra said, how many people are going to suffer as a result of the atrocities that are going on?
That's absolutely right. And getting into Kendra, is it Kendra Arneson or Arneson?
It's Arneson.
Arneson. Now, is she a part of Project Gulf Impact?
We're getting a lot of questions. I mean, anyone who is supporting, you're a part of Project Gulf Impact. We really try to we're trying to make an impact as a group. She personally, no, she's not filming anything with us. I'm sorry. Or anything longer with us. I mean, she's in contact with us. I talked to her yesterday. I talked to her the day before. She's a really great support of Project Gulf Impact, and we support what she's doing. As far as being part of the team, that's, like I said, it's kind of a variable word there. But she gave us a 6-hour interview that I think is pretty mind-blowing, and we got a lot of information and a lot of help from her. And we continue to get a lot of help.
Well, for anyone who has not seen the videos, I suggest you go on YouTube. Just type in Kendra Arneson. It's KNDRA ARNESEN, and she's got some very key information. Also, she was given security clearance to go behind the scenes with BP, and those are fascinating videos. And she also worked on a video with Project Gulf Impact, and everybody down there is just doing a fabulous job. You guys are getting information out that you can't find this information anywhere, which is ridiculous. You should be able to find it everywhere. Everyone should be talking about it, but they're not. And
it's scary.
It's a sad situation.
Yeah, it's extremely upsetting, and it's extremely unsettling to even myself. I mean, like I said, we were so naive coming out here as far as what was true and what wasn't. I personally knew there was a lot of issues in the media just coming from LA and just seeing it firsthand, essentially, but which is part of the reason I went down there. But to realize how deep and how dark this cover-up goes is astounding. And why aren't they talking? There's threats. There are people who are scared for their lives, to talk out loud. And we've talked to some of them, and we've talked to some of them who are terrified to get on camera. And we've just talked to them because they needed someone to vent to, and they were hoping their information would get out somehow, and that's sad. That's really sad that that's the state that our country's in right now, where the corporations are allowed to exercise so much control over people. That is an alarming circumstance that we're in right now.
Oh yeah, and see that's where the difference comes in between socialism and fascism. Fascism has a lot to do with the corporate side and mixing it with socialism to create a dictatorship. And that's where we're headed. We are headed for fascism right now. Now,
yeah, a lot of people are talking about a lot of things like you're saying right now.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of news going on right now. I mean, I get news updates on my phone. Gosh, every 5 minutes there's a new breaking news story. Just the same with earthquakes going on right now. Now, do you think that the earthquakes that are happening right now are any correlation to the Gulf disaster? Because I've heard rumors that they drilled near the Madrid fault line.
Yes.
Or the New Madrid fault line, or
New Madrid. Let's actually. That was where I was going next. This is another major point that's not being discussed in the big media circles, but it's being talked about. So no one's actually doing the reporting. And this is something that geologists are unfortunately extremely afraid to get on camera and talk about. But I'm not afraid to talk about it. So here you go.
Awesome.
we started getting a couple people just we're getting anonymous emails. I got an anonymous phone call about the New Madrid fault line and also the St. Lawrence fault line and how they might connect to what's going on in the Gulf. So if you look back in history, I learned something actually just yesterday about the New Madrid fault line, which I bet you a lot of your listeners won't know about. And it was something I didn't know about just 24 hours ago. I talked to a geologist who's done extensive studying and research of the New Madrid fault line. And she started talking, off the record, but, you can look this up anywhere, about an earthquake that happened, actually a series of earthquakes that happened between December 16th, 1811 and February 7th, 1812. So within about a 3-month period, were the most violent earthquakes that ever hit the North American continent in recorded history, okay?
Really?
They're collectively known as the New Madrid earthquakes. They literally affected more than 1 million square miles, okay? So in every direction, I mean, you have reports from back then in Canada, in Mexico, of them feeling it. If you compare it, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, I think it was 1906, only affected 60,000 square miles. So that's 1/16 of the area of the Madrid earthquake. So they believe that these tremors would have recorded between an 8.0 and a 9.5 on the Richter scale had it been invented. They felt it everywhere, from Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic coast, like I said, Mexico, Canada, all over this whole plate, essentially. And it was the quake zone was in constant movement during this period. Okay, 5 towns disappeared. Islands